Welcome to the YouTube edition of the book The Marble Lion. You're about to embark on a journey of Chapter 6. Please subscribe and click the like button to support the channel and get notified when the next chapter is out. Also, if you want to buy me a coffee, the link is in the description below. Thank you. Chapter starts now. I have felt anger many times in my life. It is not a new emotion for me. Sometimes it was combined with feelings of hatred, disappointment, or even rage. In the pics of my depression, my mood swings were so harsh and turbulent that it was hard to control them. For 30 seconds, I would feel an enormous amount of rage, followed by 30 seconds of the most profound sadness. If I take pills for mood stabilization, I would often feel dull and sleepy, but if I did not take them, I wasn't sure how long I could function with such steep ups and downs all the time without causing any trouble. As the time passed, I found myself unclosed with a heavy fog. I felt like I was locked in a cage with a key thrown in the ocean. Over time, even breathing felt like something on my to-do list. I was certain that I had reached the depths of hopelessness. Losing my best friend and having no support in this world was crushing me. I could not rely on Doris's family all the time. Even in my darkest moments, I knew they had their grief to deal with. And I was also aware that I was not mourning the death of one human being. I am mourning the death of the only possibility for me not to be alone in this world. As selfish as it sounds, that is how I felt. And truth be told, all I ever wanted was to belong somewhere or to someone, to love and be loved. As a daughter, relative, friend, lover, I did not want to be alone, which turned my crushing sorrow into deep, burning rage directed at the world, at my inadequacies, and at everything that seemed to move effortlessly while I remained frozen in place. Yes, I felt like I was frozen in place, but actually, I was full of fire within me. The kind of fire that traps me instead of pushing me into action. When I saw others being happy, I was reminded of my struggles. I wished I could shout, relish the animal from within me, and yell all the words that I was swallowing by the thickness of my sorrow. I felt let down by my emotions, by other people, by the world, by the universe. Every day, I fought the battle between clarity and chaos, even though I didn't hope to win the day. As the dark fog around me thickened, leaving me in despair, and the tunnel vision of my mind could only see the worst possible ending for myself, something surprised me. One day, something shifted. There was a small hole in the dark fog wall, and I went through it. Instead of bringing me to the edge, I found myself consumed by thoughts of revenge from that moment onwards. It started with a small spark. I recalled all the times I had been hurt, belittled, or betrayed by those I once trusted. I felt a strange sense of power. Subsequently, I began to consider the more significant question: what were the circumstances that led to Doris's death? How come we lost her so suddenly and so violently when all the roads led to her recovery? Why did her medications after successful heart surgery make her worse and did not help her get better? It was as if, for the first time in ages, thinking about Doris's death gave me some control over my life. I felt more powerful than before. The idea of making those who had wronged her feel the pain she had endured was intoxicating. I became consumed by dreams of revenge, imagining they might somehow ease my pain. Only now I have realized that the path I am on is only leading to more pain, not just for them, but for me as well. What do people say? When you choose revenge, you better dig 2 graves. Well, I'm starting to feel the truth in that. It is not surprising, however. I went from one dark emotion to another. There cannot be a happy end at the end of that story. After the meeting where Charles was presenting new medication for the 3rd generation beta blockers, a cloud of rage started to form around me once again. I have it under control. I was so careful in making my new intentions and how to continue further in my process of finding the truth and exposing the bad people. who had done bad things, but just 1 hour of listening to a few of them made all my negative emotions resurface. I cannot even force myself to think about Charles and how handsome he looked when all I can see and feel is red. Plus, I promised myself that I wouldn't think about Charles romantically anymore, but even if I want to break that promise, I cannot. I am too angry, too jittery, too vulnerable, easy to be exposed, easy to be manipulated, used, and tortured. I cannot trust anyone. I do not trust anyone. I am rushing from the conference room to the elevator, trying to avoid the crowd of people coming from the top floor down, mainly to enjoy the nice weather, which is rare around here, but also to prevent anyone coming back to my floor from the meeting we just had. I am not in the mood for any discussion, but even with all my effort to catch the first elevator down before my boss, anyone from R&D, I cannot avoid him. Charles flies into the metal box at the last moment, and my breath starts to speed up. Then it slows down, until I realize that I am not breathing at all. I am holding my breath. I begin to feel dizzy, and a black curtain appears in front of my eyes. "Margaret, are you okay?" I hear someone's voice, but it sounds like it is coming from the tunnel. It is distant and vague, and it feels almost like I'm imagining it. I'm fine. I am great. That's what I'm saying, and it sounds to me like I'm yelling, though I barely manage to say anything that resembles a sound. The next moment, I spread myself on the floor of the elevator, unconscious. Charles's eyes are what I see when I regain consciousness again. They're deep, gentle, concerned, and compassionate. Everything I had been searching for all my life. Someone to look at me like he is now. Like there is almost love, even though we're far from it. "You are back," gently he says. I smile weakly at him. That is all I can do. I know I will beat myself up for making a public display of my weakness where I should not. I know I will be outraged again for not keeping my cool until I reach the place where no one would see me. And especially, I know that I will not like that Charles saw me vulnerable, even though he is my kryptonite. But for now, I rest my body in his arms until my strength is back. Chapter is now finished. Thank you for listening to the Chapter 6 of the book, The Marble Lion. Don't miss the next video on this channel with the next chapter. Listen, subscribe, and like the videos. Thank you.